I don't know what will happen, as so many times before, but something special have happened, and I want to recording it. I'll tell you what have happened, and then I hope to get an answer of my questions. It was not my questions, but this person that will come to my home tomorrow, he had questions for me, and I couldn't answer it. So I asked heaven to answer me about this, and I hope they do. I will see what's going on, but I tell you that uh, it was maybe 2 weeks ago. Uh, I saw a young boy, the Mormon young man. He had a short name, Walker, and I wrote to him, not ask him to be my friend, but I wrote to him that I had a dream for some years ago, before I become a member of the church. I had a dream, and I didn't had a dream. It was awake. I was awake, but in the spirit. I was in the spirit, and there come a man to me when I was laying in my bed, and he come to me around my feet, and he had a sign with him, and I had not had before that those spirits have told me their name. So I didn't know what he wrote. So I was thinking that I read it like I am walking, and he disappeared, and then he come back after some seconds with a new sign, and then he walked a little closer to my face so I could read it, and his name was James Walker, and then I fall to sleep after having read the sign he had, and I wrote it up on my Facebook page what have happened in the night, but it's a long time ago, so it have disappeared, but it is there somewhere, the post I did, and maybe it's coming to me in these memories of what we have written on Facebook. So he asked me why this man was coming to me with a sign, and what he wanted, and what he say. And I remember it very well, what was going on in the night. And so I say to this Walker, now I don't remember his first name, but he be very interested that I wrote that I had a visit of someone that had the last name Walker, like the same as he had. And he wanted to come and visit me. So he's coming tomorrow about just after 1 o'clock. And they always come with someone with them also. So maybe this other person is also related to me. And I told him that I didn't know when the man come with a sign in the night. I didn't knew what it was. And I was kind of still was a little scared about spirits that come, and I didn't had a communication with them in that time. So it was maybe 6 years ago, and so it maybe is the answer why he was not talking to me, this man with the sign, because we couldn't communicate in that time with each other. Because not of him, it was because I couldn't communicate. I wanted to communicate, but I couldn't. I think I was a little too scared to could communicate with them. And so he asked me also, I get a touch of a spirit now. So what he asked more about what happened, and the question was also, why did he come to you with a sign? Why did he show up in the night to you? Why? And that is a question I also have. I look at the walker I have in the family tree, and as so many times it is on my mother's side walker, and I saw that walker was in he was she was married to Joseph Smith Jr., the founder of the church, Mormon church, and he was married to two women that had the name Walker, and he didn't. Joseph Smith didn't do any children with her, and I think it what I have said before. I think that in that time there was no social security. If your husband died, then you don't have so much money for to take care of the children that was born. So they married. They got to be married to Joseph Smith, and it doesn't mean that it needed to be that they had sex with each other. It was more a secure way to do it. We must think that it's not the same as today, when we have support of our government and city, and if we don't have any money. And so Joseph Smith had not much children, so he was not very fertile, and he maybe not had these women to have sex with. He only helped them to be security in the family, even if he had some more wives than one, but it was some sort of security also. And this Walker that I look at in the family tree, she was married with 3 men, and so it's very hard to find out where we are connected, but as Joseph Smith line come from Ireland, and my family tree have very much Ireland in it. Is it where the connection are, and the connection with the royals is from Scotland and Ireland and England, and they could speak English and was prepared to could travel to United States, to America, because they could speak not perfect, but they could speak English, and the children learn English. So that is very much why they come to America, but also from Sweden they join Joseph Smith, and they couldn't speak English, but if they had relatives that was in England and some met them, they learn English. So it was easy for them to come to America and start their life, and they were tired of the Swedish church, the Lutheran church, and they were also Jewish, most of them. So it was both in Ireland and in Sweden the same, that they didn't have so much money. They were poor. They didn't could make money, but they have the brain, so they understood to come to United States, and the Mormon Church was very much into to take people from Ireland, Scotland, England, and Sweden, and those countries that was connected to Sweden, Denmark, and Finland, and Norway. They joined Joseph Smith in the 1800s. When he started the church, they were pioneers, those people that was in my family tree. And I don't know why this man come in the night with a sign, and I try to get in contact with the spirits that can tell me why did he come to me, why did he come with this sign, to me. It was special because no one have come with a sign to me and showing the name. So it must be something why he did it. So I tried to get the answer about it. Why was it so important for me to know your name? No, you didn't do what other have done. They showing up in front of me, but they never tell me what their name are. It's hard when they don't tell their name, but you did it. So what did you see in me? He is saying that I must remember this to answer this young man tomorrow. He said that those in heaven, in afterlife, they push him so very much, and it was like he's a leader for them to come and solve this, to get the connection between me and the afterlife. Someone have to make the step, does he say to me now. Someone must stand up and act, or else we don't get any way to. He's showing me like a plastic bag with a hole in the corner where they can come out. What's inside the plastic bag? It's someone have to make the hole from the inside to could fall out those spirits that want to have a contact with me. That's what he showing me. And he was the one that make the hole. And to see that what he did was real, because after some years they told me to do my DNA, and I never ever thought I should have that last name that I had with Walker to do with, and now I see that I have many Walkers in my family tree, and they are connected with Joseph Smith. So I don't know how close I can be Joseph Smith, because it's very big tree. It's very much branches in it, and I have not reached all people yet. It takes some years more to find it out. If I focus on my mother's side, and I will I will see everything, but it takes time to do it. And it was like a confirm that James Walker was in my family tree, that we were connected to each other. Now it was this breathing and I am touch of the spirits, so it start to be more spirit inside me. So I wait for someone to come through and tell me more. Why this Walker? Yeah, I know that when I was in Salt Lake City and was to this church office, and those people that is the leader of the church, I told them that I had a man with me in the spirit world. I had a spirit when I talk to them inside the church office in Salt Lake City. And he was a very short man, and he was standing there together with us and wanted them to ask about him, but they were shocked over that. I told them that there is a man with me here, standing here, and he say he's from Missouri. He's from Missouri. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Missouri. He had and then I gave them this golden metallic plates, but in flakes. I gave them that in that moment. I told them that I had a man with me, but they couldn't see him. But I told them that I saw a man with us, but they couldn't receive it. They didn't understood what I say. But this was I felt it like it was Joseph Smith standing. I gave them the metallic things in the box, and they took it. But then I had not have heard anything from them in the church. And when I come back to Sweden, those in the members of the church, when they heard that I had been to Utah, they be angry at me and wanted to kick me out from the church. I did something that I was forced to ask permission to come to Utah, to Salt Lake City. I should ask my bishop, but I did that in that way that he make my membership the card that I should show in the temple in Salt Lake City, showing that I was baptized into the church and was allowed to come into the church. And our bishop, he did that for me. He said he was not thinking that I should never could get the card before I left to USA. And he said it can take 2-3 days before you get the card, and I needed the card the same day. And the bishop said, I send it to Utah, and then we see what's happened. And I tell them that you are on your way to Salt Lake City and want to visit the temple when you are there. He said that, and then we will see what happened. And then next day he called me and say I should come to the church because the card have coming. They send it with a fax to the church, and I got it very quick, more quick than the bishop should think it should happen. So they knew that I was okay to travel to Salt Lake City, or else had the bishop told me that I was not allowed to go there before he accepted it. But he did that in that way that he make the card so I could come into the temple. So that but no one understand in the Mormon church about what's going on, that I have some message from heaven for the church, and because that is only for men, and only few men in the top, those apostles, highest apostle, they are allowed to prophesy, get prophecy. No one else, or no woman either, should be allowed to get the prophecy. But what can I do if God, if heaven want to give me prophecy? And they say in the church that I should have the secret about the testimony. I should carry it in a secret, that heaven is talking to me. But I refuse to let them stop the progress that is going on from heaven and to me. I don't let them stop. They should not stop God, and they can't stop God. So I do what I need to do. I need to obey God. And they should, in the church, and other people should hold the golden rules, the golden law. And that is to do to people what you want them to do to you. You should, and that have nothing with money to do. It can be with money to do to get help and to help another person, but it doesn't need to be money. there is many things you can do to help, even if you don't have any money, is to help a person, and that doesn't need to cost any money, but sometimes is it about money, but it's not the priority. It's not the first in the first place. The first rule, the first in the law of the golden law, is to love God, and He alone standing. He is the first love. But you should also love people and try your best to help them. And if they are very much evil, you don't need to help them in a way that you help people that is nice. And like I told you in one episode, that I didn't ask an evil person to have bad things going on for it. I don't need to do revenge of a person. I told them, I asked God to let them move to a better place. That's how I try to help them, to ask God for them to get a better place. And what happened that I have not told you about, when I asked my neighbors to get help to move to a better place, what happened was that the neighbor man, his parents moved closer to us here, so he is at his mother's place in some weekends, so they are not at home here, the kids. They are at their grandparents' home now. So that's how God did it. God's way is not our way. He helped me in that way that is more quiet in the weekends. The kids are going to childcare and school, so that's okay in the week. But nowadays they go to the grandparents and stay overnight there. So God helped me, but not in that way that I ask. And I am very sure it was a reason why God couldn't move them. But He could move them a little by let them be at the grandparents' home. I am on my way to go to bed, so I will see if I will tell you if they are coming in the night and tell me what's going on with the Walker last name. And even if I have told them that that I don't want them to come in the night. But for once that they tell me about this with a walker, that's okay. So I can tell this young man what they have said from heaven. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.